All right. Amazing lick. And another great example of the tritone sub 2-5 over the 5 chord. We've talked about that in a couple other videos, and he is doing that over the D7 chord in this example as well. So this is over All the Things You Are, and it's from a live recording of him and the bass player N-Hop, which, those two together is just a terrifying combo, just chops for days. But we're doing this going into the bridge of All the Things You Are, so the 2-5-1 to G major. And we start like this. We're going to go. So I'm using my middle finger. I just prefer that for whatever reason for the slide. So I'm putting my middle finger on D sharp on the second string, and then I slide it up a half step to E. And then my pointer finger goes to G on the second string, or I'm sorry, on the first string twice. Back to E, and then back up to G. So once I hit that G note right there, that's beat 1 of that's the 2 chord. So we start on the flatted 7th of the 2 chord. All right, and now right here is where we get that tritone sub 2-5-1 thing. So this is really cool. So articulation wise, it's a little bit tricky. So the line is going to be like this. Put your pinky up on D flat on the first string, pick it twice, and then pointer finger goes down to B flat. And then on the string below, put our middle finger on G flat, pointer finger on F, and then go down to E flat. So note-wise, it's... And now articulation-wise, I'm doing like this little sweep. It's a little bit tricky. I don't always get it every time, but I go down, down, and then I do like 2 ups, 2 quick ups on the B flat and the G flat, and then a downstroke on the F. And then I do an upstroke when I land on that E flat. So I would say with this line, obviously try to get those middle notes as clear as possible, but in terms of the volume, I'm really trying to emphasize the first and last note. So I go. So it's pretty tricky. So, not a very typical way to articulate a line on the guitar, but that's what I like about learning stuff from other instruments, because it kind of forces you to do stuff that might be a little bit outside of your comfort zone, give you some new stuff to mess with. So now, in terms of that being a tritone sub 2-5, once again, just to reiterate, so if we're have D7 being the 5 chord, the tritone sub would be you go a tritone away from D, and make it a dominant chord. So A flat 7 is the tritone sub of D7, right? But now if we take this A flat 7 chord, let's pretend like it was part of a 2-5-1. What would the 2 chord be of A flat 7? E flat minor, right? So that's what we are talking about when we refer to a tritone sub 2-5-1. It's the tritone sub, but in addition to just playing the tritone sub, you add the 2 chord before it. So then instead of D7, you think E flat minor, A flat 7, and resolve it to G major, okay? So if we look at this line, it lines up perfectly with like a E flat minor, A flat 7 tonality, because we have the flatted 7th of E flat, right? And just flat 7, 5, flat 3, 2, 1. Right, if we're looking at all of that against E flat minor. So the easiest way to kind of differentiate between the altered scale and then the tritone sub 2-5-1 is typically they teach you when you're playing altered, let's say we have D as the 5 chord, you go up a half step and play melodic minor, right? Right, so that has like a very specific altered sound, but the difference when you're doing a tritone sub 2-5-1 is you still go up the half step, but instead of playing melodic minor, you play Dorian, right? Which is where we get that D flat. That's why when you're looking at tritone sub 2-5-1 lines, you oftentimes will see a major 7 over the 5 chord, and that's the case with this. When we're playing that D flat, that's actually the major 7 of D, right? But and he's also anticipating it too, because he's going. So when we land on that E flat, that's actually beat 1 of the D7 chord, but I would definitely argue that he's thinking ahead, anticipating the D7 chord by targeting, E flat Dorian. But either way, when we land on that E flat note, we are landing on the flat 9 of the 5 chord. So far we have. All right, and then we have this really cool. we go like this. We put our ring finger on F on the second string, pick it, and then pull off to E flat and slide down to D. So that's just, you know, against D7, it's the sharp 9, flat 9 root. And then ring finger picks C on the third string, middle finger picks B. So, okay. And then pointer finger on D. And then after this is where we resolve to the G flat major. So we land, put your ring finger on B on the third string, pointer finger on A, and then string below that, pinky on G, ring finger on F sharp, and I'm picking all of these notes. Originally I was pulling off, but when I listened back to it, I think articulation-wise, it just gets it a little bit closer to what he's playing. And then this is really nice. You jump down to the B note on your fifth string with the pointer finger, and then go up a fourth to E, F sharp with your ring, pinky on G, and then pointer finger on A, and then it just ends with B, C, B, A, B. And I think right there I do my middle, ring, middle, pointer, middle. So if we look at that, once we land on the B note and we're on our G chord, we do intervallically. It's 3, 2, 1, 7, and then this is really nice. It jumps down from the 7 down to the third, right? I really like that. And then just start on the 6, and basically just go right up your G major scale. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, then down to 2, back to 3. So in terms of kind of like the meat of this line, I think it's really that one particular part right there over the D7 chord. That part really caught my ear when I heard that. And then I really like that little jump down from the 7 to the 3rd of the G major chord. Really cool, beautiful intervallic jump. So the entire line